Hi Hammers fans, quick reminder, drop a like, hit subscribe, and leave your comment below. That way you'll always be the first to catch every update about West Ham United. The saga surrounding Lucas Paqueta and West Ham has gained new chapters and seems far from a peaceful conclusion. The Brazilian midfielder, one of the brightest talents in world football, has taken a drastic stance to accelerate his departure. He refused to play in the recent match against Nottingham Forest, an attitude that was confirmed by the Hammers board. The gesture was interpreted as a clear sign that Paqueta no longer intends to stay at the club under current conditions, and that his exit could now be only a matter of time. Sources close to the situation state that Paqueta has been using what has been described as bully tactics to control the narrative of his departure. Targeted by major Premier League clubs, the Brazilian has reportedly made it clear that his wish is to remain at the very highest level of competition and that London is no longer part of his plans. In this scenario, two clubs stand out as the main contenders, Aston Villa and Tottenham. Both see the midfielder as the player capable of transforming their creative sector. But right now, Aston Villa are emerging as favourites, having tabled an initial bid of $35 million and preparing to raise it closer to the $50 million demanded by West Ham. Tottenham, meanwhile, are monitoring the situation with interest but do not appear willing to enter into a bidding war. The club's priority is believed to be strengthening other areas of the squad, and while Paqueta is admired as a top-quality player, he may not be their most urgent target at this point. That opens the door for Aston Villa to consolidate their position as the most likely destination in England, especially as the Birmingham club's board are ready to spend heavily in their ambition to fight for trophies and cement themselves among the Premier League's elite. But the story does not stop there. In Brazil, an unexpected name has also entered the conversation: Flamengo. The Rio de Janeiro Giants, who developed Paqueta in their academy and launched him to world football, have long expressed an interest in repatriating the midfielder. They now see this delicate situation as a potential, albeit complicated, opportunity to bring him back home. While competing financially with Premier League clubs is immensely challenging, Flamengo have shown in recent years that they are capable of investing heavily in the transfer market. The Flamengo board have been building a squad at the highest level, signing big names and assembling a team that competes for every possible trophy in South America. Their sporting project is clear, not only to cement themselves as the biggest club on the continent, but also to become a global force capable of attracting and retaining major stars. Bringing Paqueta back would be a bold move that would resonate deeply with the fans and elevate Flamengo to a new level of prominence. It is worth noting that Flamengo have already pulled off some impressive transfer moves, securing players of international renown and maintaining a star-studded squad. The return of Lucas Paqueta, a homegrown talent and a beloved figure for the Rubro-Negro fans, would be the crowning moment of their ambitious project. Even though financially the operation is far more realistic for European clubs like Aston Villa and Tottenham, Flamengo's presence in the discussion underlines their growing weight and influence on the global stage. Meanwhile, West Ham find themselves in a complicated position. The club have already invested more than $60 million this summer to strengthen their midfield, bringing in Mateus Fernandes and Sungutu Magasa. This has raised suspicions that the board may already have been preparing for Paqueta's departure. Even so, the Hammers have no intention of giving in easily. The directors insist on recovering as much as possible of their original investment, demanding a significant fee to release their star man. This deadlock creates a classic dilemma. Keeping an unhappy player in the squad could destabilize the team further and harm performances on the pitch, but selling Paqueta below market value would be a damaging blow both financially and reputationally. It is a game of patience and strategy where every move will be scrutinized closely by the press and the supporters alike. For the Hammers faithful, the situation is painful. Paqueta is not only the team's most creative player, but also a symbol of hope in difficult times. Losing him would seriously compromise the club's ambitions for the season. On the other hand, in Brazil, Flamengo's fans dream of seeing their Menino do Ninho return to the Maracanã. With every new rumor, the possibility of a comeback excites the Rubro-Negro nation. In the end, the coming days promise to be decisive. Aston Villa remain favourites. Tottenham are keeping an eye on developments, and Flamengo watch from afar ready to act should even the smallest opportunity arise. What seems certain is that Lucas Paqueta will not stay long in an environment where he has already made clear he does not wish to remain. The saga continues, and its resolution could well be one of the most sensational transfer stories of this window. Before we carry on, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. This is really important because it strengthens the Claret and Blue family, making our West Ham bigger and stronger every day. In recent years, European football has been a real breeding ground for young talents who emerge in mid-level clubs and quickly attract the attention of giants from more competitive leagues. And one of the names beginning to stand out in this scenario is the Austrian Patrick Wimmer, currently playing for Wolfsburg in the German Bundesliga. At just 23 years of age, he has already earned his place and established himself as one of the team's most important figures, building up experience and becoming an offensive reference that goes far beyond statistics. Formed in Austrian football, Wimmer arrived at Wolfsburg in 2022, coming from Arminia Bielefeld. His adaptation was almost immediate. It did not take long for him to show intensity, technical quality, and a rare tactical discipline for players so young. This quickly won over the supporters and led to him being closely observed by analysts across different leagues. His style of play is marked by versatility, as he can feature on the right wing, left wing, or even centrally functioning as a genuine attacking joker. One of Patrick Wimmer's most striking characteristics is the way he accelerates offensive transitions. With him on the pitch, Wolfsburg gains speed, unpredictability, and above all, the ability to break through opposition lines. In a Bundesliga full of fast, physically intense players, Wimmer manages to stand out by combining that pace with an intelligent reading of the game. He knows when it is time to hold the ball and wait for support, but also has the courage to attempt vertical dribbles, individual moves. The numbers help tell this story. During his time at Wolfsburg, Wimmer has already contributed with goals and assists that prove decisive in key matches. But more than the cold statistics, what really draws attention is the collective impact he provides. His movement opens spaces, drags markers, and creates opportunities for others to finish. This type of contribution, often invisible to those who only look at goals, is highly valued by coaches and sporting directors. It is no coincidence then that bold comparisons have emerged. Some specialized journalists have even described him as Bellingham-esque, meaning a player who, like Jude Bellingham, brings intensity, courage, and presence in decisive moments. Of course, we are not speaking about the same position on the pitch, but rather about the impact both can have. The way Wimmer is able to change the rhythm of a match, whether by speeding up play or by controlling it, is very much reminiscent of what is expected from elite players. Within this context, Patrick Wimmer naturally became a target for Premier League clubs, a competition that consistently attracts Europe's brightest talents. England is seen as a natural next step in the careers of many youngsters seeking to evolve and gain international visibility, and it is precisely here that West Ham United enter the frame. Going through a process of renewal under manager Graham Potter, the London club are seeking to rebuild their identity. The idea is to blend experienced names with rising youngsters, creating a squad capable of competing at a high level both in the Premier League and in European competitions. In this plan, players like Wimmer fit perfectly young, but already with experience ready to deliver immediate impact, whilst also having room to develop further. West Ham know they need to strengthen their attack for the upcoming seasons. Despite having names such as Jared Bowen, Michael Antonio, and Lucas Paqueta, the squad lacks depth, and this is where Patrick Wimmer emerges as an interesting solution. He could play in various attacking roles, offering Potter more alternatives, especially in matches where the team require extra mobility or creativity down the flanks. Moreover, there's a strategic dimension to consider. Players like Wimmer not only strengthen the team on the pitch, but also raise the club's profile in the market. Demonstrating that West Ham can attract promising young talents from the Bundesliga is a way of positioning themselves as an ambitious side, ready to battle for space amongst the elite. And the truth is that according to sources close to the market, this interest is close to becoming something concrete. West Ham are said to be preparing an official bid to try to prize Wimmer away from Wolfsburg. The estimated value of the player ranges between $14.7 million and $18 million, and his long contract until 2027 gives the German club bargaining power. Wolfsburg are not inclined to easily part with one of their jewels, but they know that when Premier League clubs enter the scene, the financial pressure can become difficult to resist. The news is already starting to excite the Hammers supporters. Many view Wimmer as the sort of signing capable of transforming the team's dynamics, creating new options, and increasing internal competitiveness. Just imagine an attack formed by Bowen, Wimmer, and Paqueta all rotating positions and exploiting spaces. It would be a forward line full of energy, creativity, and unpredictability. Nothing has been confirmed yet, but the signs are clear. West Ham are not merely watching, they are preparing to act. If they manage to advance in this negotiation, the London club will have taken an important step in building a younger, more intense, and above all, more competitive squad. For Patrick Wimmer, it would be the chance to test his talent on the biggest stage in world football, the Premier League. For West Ham, it would be the opportunity to show the world that they are ready to be bold and grow even further.